Whose turn is it to intro the show?
Not sure.
Who did it last time?
I think you did.
I did? Okay, so it's not my turn this week.
All right, King, kick things off.
All right, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the Wheel of Content. So, what we do is we spin a wheel. It has our names on it. Whatever name it lands on, that person starts talking about a topic, and we all just go with the topic. It's basically how it works. I'll let everybody else introduce themselves. Benny, go ahead.
Thank you, King of Lampoons. I'm BennyMF, a.k.a. Good Benjamin, protector of the sanctity of the wheel, making sure that the wheel is... that its sanctity remains intact.
You going to do this every episode?
What, make up words?
Yeah.
That's my role on the show.
Every time you say that, I picture you as like a Knights Templar, like one of those ridiculous costumes.
Yeah. Not ridiculous, but yeah.
And I'm Steve Reeves, the Bull of American Broadcasting. Welcome. Welcome to what historians agree is history's best use of the wheel.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The two of you, man. All right.
What?
You with the fucking sanctity of the wheel and him with the history of the... Historians agree it's the best use of the wheel ever. Whatever, man. All right.
All right. Good intro. Shall we get to the wheel? The reason for the season?
Yep.
All right, so here's our wheel.
All
Marvel at its magistry.
Has it been altered in any way?
Nah, but I think that we're due for a couple upgrades to keep things fresh. So give me a moment because I
It gets people excited about the wheel.
Closed out of the wheel.
Oh, so King, should we engage in banter?
No time for that. I just brought it back up.
Oh, okay.
Banter segment, that'll start later.
All
Benny, remember Benny like scheduled banter for some reason? I don't.
Yes.
It's a show segment.
Yeah, a lot of people enjoy it. A lot of people enjoy. If you're new to the show, the banter segment is when we talk about the concept of banter.
No.
At length. See, I feel like there could have been some banter in here.
Yeah, you know what?
This
On
is
second
a very
thought,
banter-friendly.
yeah, let's commence with the banter segment. So this is the banter segment of the show. And the Bull and the King of Lampoons are going to do the heavy lifting because...
All right, well, yesterday, last week was my wedding anniversary, and I took my wife to see the grave of Kitty and Jose Menendez.
Yeah, you said, where are they
Really?
married?
Princeton, New Jersey.
Is that where?
Huh.
Oh, that's where they're originally from, right?
I guess they lived there at some point, yeah.
Yeah.
Has that become a more popular attraction because of the Netflix biopic?
More than likely.
Monsters?
We did watch that, and I remember, I guess a month or two ago, whenever it came on, and I remember thinking, oh, yeah, we could do that for the event that's coming up. We can go see the grave.
Yeah.
Steve's a real romantic over here. Who goes to that? What are you doing?
You walk up to the grave.
Parents.
You walk up to the grave and you look at it.
And you went there for your wedding anniversary?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's a nice little ride, especially this time of year. It's fall on our timeline, and you got to see the very autumnal sights of central New Jersey.
Yeah, it's fall. Thus, the King of Lampoons and I, with our seasonal backdrops.
Steve Googled fall activities and found go visit the Menendez grave site. Did you have to wait in line or just make it right to the
There were people there. I don't know if there was some scavenger hunt thing going on, but there were a lot of people wandering around the cemetery when we first got there. Because the other notable people
Really?
are buried
What
there.
could they have possibly been doing there?
President Cleveland is there. Vice President Burr is there.
So did you go check theirs out or just the Menendez?
Oh no, we looked at those too. we walked over there and looked at them. But Menendez, they were the priority. The Menendezes.
Okay, so you get to the Menendez headstone.
Yeah.
So were you like, there it is, turn around and left? I mean, what is there to do? What did you
No, we looked at it.
Just take any pictures?
Yeah, I took a picture of when because I didn't tell my wife where we were going.
Oh, it was a surprise.
Yeah, it was a surprise. And so I was looking because I kind of remembered where it was, but I knew it was in a corner, but I had the wrong corner. So I said, man, okay, this isn't it. They're not here. It's not here because I wasn't letting on what we were there to see. So when I found the right corner, okay, here it is. It's over here somewhere. Then I spotted it, and then my wife spotted it. When she spotted it, I have a picture of her like dashing over to it when she spotted it. And she got very excited.
Eyes welled up with tears.
Well, she got a little weird, to be honest.
There's other funerals going on. Steve's walking over with a woman blindfolded to a tombstone. And the camera ready to record the reaction. People are mourning around them.
Those are the people that the bull just referred to as there was other random weird people just walking around. I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
My biggest takeaway from the Netflix biopic Monsters was that I was like, you know what? In fairness, that wasn't a bad Milli Vanilli song after all. You know?
No one had a problem with the songs. They had a problem with the fraud.
Yeah,
I had a problem with the songs. I wasn't rocking out to Milli Vanilli back at that day. I don't want to date myself, but they were a prominent band when I was in my youth. Not to me. Man.
There were some funny parts of that Netflix show, though.
Such as?
Well,
It's a talk show, Josh.
Well, I didn't know if you guys saw it. I thought the part was really funny when they find the escape plan in one of their cells, and they like show like they basically are reading what the plan was, but they're showing like how it would have looked if they actually went through with the plan, and like they escape in like their BMW. Did you see it, or did this make no sense?
Yeah, I saw it. I'm just waiting for the funny part, but.
Well, yeah, there's no funny part. You have to see it.
You know what people are getting sick and tired of waiting for is that wheel.
Okay, one more thing about the Menendez brothers.
Okay.
What's crazy is how many things I've watched about them, and I still get confused which one's fucking Lyle and which one's no clue.
Hey, I'm right there with you, buddy.
You're standing in the front of one. I think this is where Lyle's buried. Nope, move over. It's Eric.
No,
they're both alive.
What is
both
wrong with you?
both of them are alive.
What the fuck was I just saying there? Scratch that.
I don't know.
Really, wow.
No, we're leaving that in. That's a blunder. It's going on our blunder compilation.
Was there anything at their parents' gravesite?
Well, a lot of people left coins and rocks and pieces of wood. I think the wood is because I didn't think either of them were Jewish, but I guess maybe Jewish people were leaving the tributes. But yeah, that's about it. Some people left like pieces of stick, but I think because there aren't rocks in that area of the cemetery. They're hard to come by. So I think people went in they improvised. Let's leave a stick.
Would you leave? You guys leave anything special?
I was able to find a pebble.
Were you searching for a pebble specifically, or did you just pick up the first thing that you accidentally
I was
on
looking
the sidewalk?
I was looking for a stone. I was looking for a stone.
Okay. All right.
I found a pebble.
So what next anniversary? What gravesite are you going to go visit?
Well, last year we went to I can't think of her name. I did an episode on her story. Jane Mansfield, the actress from the 50s.
Oh my
and
God,
60s.
this is boomer talk. All right, let's get to the wheel, man. James Mansfield.
See, you just pronounced it like my mother. No, Jane Mansfield, not James Manfield.
My mistake, folks. All right. Well, before we start getting into all this boomer-esque talk here, we're going to get to that wheel that we were talking about. And here it is in its glory. Look at that. You can see the fireworks going off in the background. Pyro going off at the bottom like we're at Monday Night Raw. Okay, what I mean?
And more like we're seeing Great White at the station.
So, I'm ready, if you guys are, to get to spinning.
Thank God
And we're going to see whose content the wheel lands on. So, we ready?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Okay, man. I was waiting for you to get finished doing that. Are you going to have to use the bathroom soon? You just drank like whatever was in that large cup. You just drank it all at once.
We'll see what happens.
Okay. So let's get to spinning.
All right.
And there's that music. The people at home right now are getting up out of their seats and they're dancing around. Once again, it landed on the King of Lampoons.
Screw me.
That's 2 weeks in a row, man.
I have nothing
guy's
but
on a
good
roll.
things to say. Nothing but good things to say about the topics, the content that Josh has presented to us thus
Oh
far.
boy. Well,
Yeah, me either.
Oh, this is going to be an off week.
you want to put that one on the back burner there, Steve.
First L for the king.
It could be. Could
Mm.
be. All right.
We'll decide.
Yeah. All right. So we're just gonna dive right into some classic cinema for this for this topic.
Is this going to get us copyright stricken?
Okay. So I gotta play it carefully with that, I guess, right? You guys both know more about the rules on that kind of thing than I do. It shouldn't. I mean, the clip that I'm gonna play of the actual movie is short, and then it's somebody talking about the movie.
Well, that's okay. We're going to put a big, giant, fair use.
Yeah.
That's all you need. That's all you need to
top
do.
Of, at the front of the video, and then we're practically bulletproof. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I
We're
feel like
practically untouchable.
I don't understand why people do that. It doesn't make any case for you. It doesn't make it official.
oh, so Steve, you're saying even if you do that, it does nothing. Like there's
No.
point.
Why
do
would
it.
that do anything?
I don't know.
To remind people of that act, the act of whatever act the number.
So
is,
that
I
what
don't know.
happens? So that they don't report it?
I don't
That
know.
happens automatically. Bots
Not
report
always.
that stuff.
Not always.
For the most part.
When dealing with copyrighted, certain
Yeah.
copyrighted materials, music, TV, and movies specifically.
Yeah. What else is there?
I mean, like, well, you know, if I don't know.
Yeah.
If someone clipped this video and, you know, clipped it or did something transformative with it, I guess the point being like, hey, this is fair use. Don't go striking my channel just because we used clips from your video. Which, by the way, I wouldn't care if somebody did or didn't.
Yeah, I would actually appreciate them doing that.
Okay.
All right, you guys done with that nonsense?
Yes.
All right. So, Steve doesn't watch a lot of movies, so I guess.
I don't see a lot of motion pictures.
But please, for the love of God, tell me that you have seen Poltergeist 1 and 2.
No, not 2. Poltergeist, the first one. Yeah, I saw that when I was maybe a teenager. Yeah, I mean, I'm not that old. I saw it years after it came out, but I was a teenager.
I've never seen either.
And you've never seen both. Wait, Benny, you've never seen the original Poltergeist?
No.
And Steve, you've never seen Poltergeist 2?
No.
Holy shit. Well,
I think the first one was a complete enough story not to require a sequel.
yeah, I mean, that was, I'm sure, a case where, you know, the original did so well that they were going to make a sequel just because to make the money. But the second one's actually not bad. Like, as far as sequels goes, I actually think the second one's pretty good. But that's not the point here. But I now I'm like thrown for a loop because I thought at least both of you would have been familiar with the movie Poltergeist too. All right. Anyway, so that now I kind of got to backtrack what I just said about the clip not being that long. So
all right. Now hold on. See, how you're feeling right now is how Benny and I feel when we try to talk to you about anything.
Fair point. Fair point. All right. Let me. So yeah, all right. So Steve, if you've seen at least Poltergeist 1, give it a basic breakdown of that.
Yeah, it's just called Poltergeist, King.
Yeah, whatever. Go ahead. Explain the movie.
Oh, it's been so long. So there's a ghost in the house that comes through the television set.
Is that accurate? I don't know.
That's the worst description of anything ever. Yeah. So a house ends up getting haunted by ghosts or whatever, and then they suck the little girl into the television, right? Then they go in to get her out. They go through the closet. Whole thing happens, okay? And then they make a second one. The sequel.
They didn't. They could have just unplugged the television.
No, because then she would have been stuck in there. That's what they were worried about.
Oh no! Before she was sucked in there.
But why would they just unplug their television?
Because she was warning them that the poltergeists are here. That's when they're back.
Really? And her parents didn't take that seriously?
Like,
wasn't she like a little girl?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to. All right, Benny, I'm putting the link for this thing in the chat that now we kind of have to play. All right. So you can click on that, pull it up. Or Steve, whichever one of you wants to do it.
All right.
Are you doing it, Benny?
Yeah.
Should we engage in more banter?
Well, so I was just going to say.
I got it.
All right. So this that you just pulled up is the scene in Poltergeist 2 that I want to play something else about. Okay.
Okay.
So what happens at this point? So the ghosts from the original Poltergeist, they come back, right? They're haunting the family and all this stuff. So
well, and I haven't seen Poltergeist 2, but I know there are many more poltergeists in the second one because the family just got cable.
That's so dumb.
It made things far worse.
That is so dumb.
Poltergeist took over the town because these folks wanted to watch ESPN. All right.
That's so dumb. So, all right, but you at least know the main actor in Poltergeist, right? Please tell me you know that.
Craig T. Nelson.
I don't know anything. Who?
Craig T. Nelson, TV's coach.
Yeah, so this
okay.
Which I regard as Poltergeist 3.
Yeah, this guy. What? This guy on the floor, that's the main guy, Greg T. Nelson.
Craig.
What did I say?
You said Greg.
Oh, sorry. Craig T. Nelson. Okay. So in this scene, prior to this, he's like fed up with the whole ghost haunting his house, bothering his family thing, right? Can't take it anymore. So he's decided he's going to drink some tequila. Okay.
Now, hold on. Before he got to that point, was there an acceptable level of poltergeist haunting?
Well, he was
perfectly all right with.
Well, at this point, to be honest, I don't think it was more the haunting that he couldn't take anymore. I mean, he's got like exorcist people living in his house. There's like a Native American guy there, that short woman who tries to get rid of the ghost. So he's got all these other people. You know how you get company and sometimes you can't take it anymore? I think that's the point he's at.
Oh, gotcha.
On top of the ghosts that are also, bothering him. So he decides he's going to, have some drinks. So he goes for a bottle of tequila, drinks the worm. Okay. Have you ever drank the worm from tequila?
No.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like for a while they were making that a big deal in like movies and shows. And I don't know anybody who actually.
Yeah. When we were kids, that was, I think Urban Cowboy. It happens in Urban Cowboy.
Yeah. At one point it was like a big deal. And I don't think anybody ever actually did it. First of all, tequila's nasty. Anyway. All right. So he drinks the worm of the tequila in the house full of ghosts. So you can. So this, you should be all right playing this. This is just the scene from the movie after he drinks the worm and what happens. So yeah, go ahead and give that.
What is it? What is it, Steve? What is it?
That's supposed to be the one.
Oh man. Okay, so can we like break this up with some transformity before we grow, before we become copyright stricken? I don't know that we can just sit here and play the entire clip in its entirety.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's basically all that you had to see, right? So he drinks the worm. The worm turns into this monster thing. It comes back.
Yeah, that thing was pretty nasty.
Yeah, so if you go towards the end of that clip, like it just like kind of like grows into like more of a thing, and I think it runs away or whatever. Which is kind of weird. I don't even remember what happens in the movie after it runs away. If this thing just is on the loose and nobody cares. But all right, so now that you've seen that scene, if you were like an actor, right, and you see this in the script, and you know this is like the day you're going to be recording this, what were some things you might be concerned with as an actor?
Filming this particular scene that we just saw?
Yeah. Like, what's something you might think could be? What's something if you had to act in it? What would be something that you would like maybe be thinking about?
It would just be remembering my lines, knowing how to hit my mark, and things like that.
Yeah,
more practical things.
Trying to talk the co-host into practicing the love scenes again when they're done shooting this monster scene. I don't know. What are you getting at? Just tell us.
Yeah, Steve was on the right track, right? Like that's the kind of stuff you'd be thinking about, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Blocking, I'd consider blocking.
Yeah, like maybe I don't know, like if it's the 80s, so that wasn't CGI. That was like some sort of special effect that they had to set up, right? So like maybe you'd be worried about if that's going to go wrong, right? Everything's going to go right. You got some weird thing coming that you got to pretend's coming out of your mouth, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. So I'm putting another link in the chat, Benny. Go ahead and click on that bad boy.
Sure. One moment, please.
Yeah, Poltergeist. I guess that became a franchise. I wasn't aware of that. I thought it was a standalone picture.
Yeah, the first one did really well, so they decided to make a second one. The second one, I actually liked the second one. Then they made a third one, but the third one, the only person who came back for the third one was the girl. The rest of them didn't do it.
Speaking of Poltergeist, we talked about the Menendez documentary earlier, and Nathan Lane portrays Dominic Dunn, the father of one of the stars of Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Everybody get out there, Gen Z. Everybody pick up on those references. Can't wait to clip this for TikTok.
All right.
Hashtag Norman Glenn.
All right. Can you stop worrying about that?
I worry about it all the time. That's all that consumes my thoughts. All right. Ready to present?
Yeah, send it to you. All right. So this is we're obviously not, this thing's ridiculously long. We're not watching all that. So this is remember when they used to have E-True Hollywood stories about things?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So are you guys even familiar with how like the whole curse of Poltergeist thing?
I'm familiar with the lore, but I don't know anything about it. I just know that there is like some curse of the Poltergeist movies.
Yeah, and it's all basically bullshit, right? Like they said, like weird things would happen on the set, and then the girl ended up dying, and then the other girl was murdered by her boyfriend. I don't know. Well, I'm making a good case for maybe being a curse here. Right? For saying bullshit. Right? All right. So all that stuff's going on. Like they're aware of this at this point. At this point, they're aware of like the curse of weird things happened on the set. So then they got to film the scene where he's got the monster thing coming out of his mouth, right? So all that, like Steve said, if I'm an actor, I'd be worried about, my lines, what I'm doing as an actor, maybe hoping that nothing goes wrong, given that there's all these problems on set and weird things happening while you're doing the scene. So just go to the 50-minute mark. For 49 minutes. Go to 49 minutes.
Okay.
All right.
And this is
Wish you had asked me to do this before I shared, but no worries. Hope everyone's enjoying this.
Poltergeist 2.
Yeah, this is Poltergeist 2. All right. So starting here, they're going to break down the scene of what we just watched. Okay. And I want you to pay attention to things that Greg T. Nelson is concerned about, was concerned about during filming. Go ahead.
We were rookie producers, and a blessing from anywhere was a good blessing.
The blessings worked, and production moved along smoothly for a while. But all that changed when it came time to film Craig T. Nelson's scene with a creature named the Vomit Monster.
The monster was going to grow inside of me, then come out. And they had an air hose, and they had some kind of a plasma system that was going to be injected, and I was supposed to, as it came out and blew up inside of my mouth, let it out.
It wasn't a scene that Craig was looking forward to doing, I can tell you that.
Yeah, you know what? This is more boomer talk, but when I was a kid and would be at the store, like, if my mom was shopping, I would always go to the magazine racks and read Fangoria. You ever remember that magazine Fangoria? Anyone know what magazines are?
Yeah, a horror movie magazine.
Yeah, and it was cool because this is pre-CGI, obviously, and a lot of the magazine kind of pulled back the curtain on how they did some of those horror effects.
Yeah, I mean, it's back then, so they had to use like actual props, right?
So what Craig T. Nelson is basically saying was that part of the scene, the monster would be like hanging from his mouth. There would be like a hose that he was basically blowing into to expand the monster like a balloon, right?
Yeah, something like that, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I understood it.
Yeah, and it seems like you'd be concerned about something going wrong with that.
Who would?
I mean, if you were like actually the actor who had to play that and you had to have that, all work correctly, you'd probably be concerned about that.
Blowing into a tube?
Yeah, man. It working correctly?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair enough. All right. So let's see.
And they had an air hose, and they had some kind of a plasma system that was going to be injected, and I was supposed to, as it came out and blew up inside of my mouth, let it out.
It wasn't a scene that Craig was looking forward to doing, I can tell you that.
Yeah,
there was a lot of reluctance about it and conversation about it.
Some guy who's 14 years old comes and says, this is really going to work. We've practiced it in the trailer for like hours and hours, and we know, and then they turn it on.
What'd you say?
He's, I guess, trying to do an impression of a 14-year-old nerd. I
picked up on that, yeah.
Supposedly, he's a good actor. I don't know what he's doing here, though. Not his best work.
Mocking the unpaid help. I hope it wasn't some 14-year-old. What do they got 14-year-olds working on a Hollywood movie set for? That's got to be against the law.
Yeah, especially on the props, but
maybe not in 1986, which is when I think this movie came out. The last video said, right?
Somewhere around then.
All right. So we're lampooning 14-year-olds.
And it's not working. Well, that's not supposed to happen. Guess we'll have to reevaluate. Are you sure that you're holding your tongue in a 45-degree angle against the tubes?
I remember everybody trying desperately to keep a straight face because he was so funny, and they had a thing that was coming out. And he kept saying, "Does it look phallic?" And we'd all go, "No, Craig, no, it looked fine."
That's all I wanted to get to, was that he was concerned that it looked like he had a dick in his mouth.
Or coming out of it. Like he had just somehow ingested one and was then regurgitating it back out onto the floor.
Like overly concerned that he mentioned it multiple times. He's like, "Hey, man, that thing, this scene, it doesn't look like a dick, does it? Like, come on."
They're like, "What are you so worried about, Craig T. Nelson?" He's like, "I'm just saying, what if, 40 years from now, 3 guys bring this up on a video and start making fun of it? I don't want that." And they're like, "Oh, don't be absurd, Craig T. Nelson."
It was an absurd concern because also like Poltergeist is more of like a family horror movie. Like I think it's they were going for a PG-13 rating, so they weren't going to give him this schlong looking thing coming out of his mouth or what in his mouth, whatever. Crazy.
And then a 14-year-old came in and started saying, "Oh, by the way, Mr. Nelson, next scene we need to have the same monster crawl back inside your asshole." And I said, "Wait a minute, I have some concerns about this."
Yeah, to me it's just I don't know. I was cracking up like that's what he was worried about, like on a movie set. I don't know. Just
calls were made. The agents, managers, production was halted.
It's so dumb. It's so,
14-year-olds got back to work in that lab.
And like, and then he, to me, it's just funny because whatever year this was, 1980, whatever. So like, it just shows how different it was that you could even bring that concern up back then. You know what I mean? You can just start talking to everybody on set about how you're like so worried about how it looks like you might have like, a penis coming out of your mouth. You couldn't even mention that. You just have to roll with it now. Like, there's no way you can bring that up.
I wonder if on the set of Blue Bunny, Chloe Sevigny expressed concern that it might look like a poltergeist. Agents were called.
Like, it's I don't know, man.
All right.
Like, and but also if you go back to the, we don't need to, but if you go back and watch the clip of it, it's not even close. Like,
no, I didn't really pick up on any phallic vibes. And
like,
believe me, I usually have a pretty good keen sense for that.
You got a keen eye for penis?
Yes.
There's nothing to even be worried about though, man. Like, it's not even a little bit like that it looks like it. It's just such a bizarre concern.
I'm going to take a Steve freeze frame of that one clip where's that other video? Hold on.
Ooh, banter, Josh. Shall we banter?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Now you guys have festive backgrounds. I guess that's related to the Halloween season, which is upon us. But this is timeless. This is evergreen.
Yeah.
Here to be seen on YouTube till the sun swallows the earth.
Yeah.
But okay, let's mark the season.
Yeah. I don't think people are going to care.
You have plans for Halloween? Last year, you and your son went as Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley. I thought that was pretty rad.
Yeah, actually, that was 2 years ago.
Two years ago, right.
That was
Look
awesome.
at this. Look at this damning image I have.
Let's see
Craig
this.
T. Nelson is not going to be happy about this, but look at this. Just balls deep on this thing. Look at this guy practically gagging on it. He can't get enough of it.
Can't get enough of it.
He's all the way down to the
He's all the way
I mean, you
down.
can't even see the shaft anymore. He's completely engulfed it with his mouth and throat.
Poor Craig T. Nelson. Thwarted. Thwarted.
Oh, man.
My good Benjamin.
His greatest fears. This was 1986. I bet you by about 1996, he was like, you know what? It's been this long. I think I can
Yeah,
quit
let it
worrying
go.
about this.
The next day, he's watching the dailies. He's like,
Enter 2024 Halloween season, as the bull referenced. And look at this.
Blame it on me.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if he go easy on that thing. All right, that's enough. I
Yeah.
apologize for any vulgarisms. I wasn't trying to take the show in that direction, but
No,
yeah, it's kind of funny. That was his concern.
Well, I mean,
He's like I don't have enough on my mind.
right.
I'm making a movie here. Now I need this on my mind as well.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. That's
Future contracts were rewritten to accommodate his ongoing career request that nothing appear that way in any scene he's taking part in.
I bet you those punk 14-year-olds that he was being a jerk to, they probably took the thing back to the to the prop station and wiped their asses with it collectively and said, "Okay, it's ready for you to put your mouth back on, Mr. Nelson," or however they talked, according to Craig T. Nelson. I like Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah,
I thought he was
he's all
pretty
right.
cool.
You know, he started out in stand-up, which is interesting to me because I've never seen and like there's no Johnny Carson appearance of Craig T. Nelson doing stand-up. I don't think there is.
He was a prop comic. Look at this. He'd come on stage. He would close with this. All right. Is there anything more to this piece of content? Or is...
I feel like we could have got into that a lot smoother if either of you two dipshits actually saw the movie. I mean, I don't know
why. I don't know why seeing the movie would even be necessary. I
Zero
enjoyed
effect.
it just fine, having not seen it.
Well, because then I could have just said, "You guys know in Poltergeist 2 when he spit."
Yeah, we both said no.
Okay, but it's better that we don't because then you explained it to the audience. This is an artifice. This isn't a real conversation.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that most people who are listening have actually seen Poltergeist 2, man. Like, I don't know. I didn't ask about a modern. Like, most people have seen that movie.
Sometimes you have to set the table, Josh.
I got you. It's just, but I can say the most, weird movie, and both of you be like, or at least Benny would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm familiar with that motion picture."
I apologize for being such an albatross for your content this week. I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, that was fun, Josh.
Pardon my ignorance on the franchise.
On the French.
I did hear that there's something called the Curse of the Poltergeist movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, I know a lot about Poltergeist. If you want to talk about that some more.
It's your spin, man.
No, I'm good. That was it. That was the whole content on that part. All that.
It's a horror movie. It's timely being Halloween and all, as for some reason the Bull continues to mention. Brought it up about 3 times now.
Oh,
we have. We rewind the video
because I had to explain it because that explains your backgrounds.
Yeah, but I don't think people are going to care.
People see this in 3 years' time. People who are looking for when Craig T. Nelson dies of possibly embarrassment, Benny. People are going to be looking for content related to Craig T. Nelson. They're going to come upon this and they're going to wonder, "Hey, why is with their skulls back there?" And it's April.
Hey man, look, I liked Coach. I liked the show Coach. I thought Craig T. Nelson was good in The Devil's Advocate. I celebrate his whole catalog. All right. As far as my backdrop, hey, I could use this for Halloween and keep it stored somewhere in case I needed to repurpose it for I don't know, let's say some of my content revolved around heavy metal music. This would be appropriate. And it's cool looking too. It's kind of sinister. I'm imagining these cutaway shots that we do where it focuses on one of our boxes, people going, "Damn, that's pretty badass. This guy's pretty, he's a pretty badass guy."
This guy was on the wrong side of that war in Cambodia. Josh, I do have an additional question for you because we did start talking about this. Do you have plans to have that kind of costume matchup with your son this year?
Yeah, so I was saying we actually went as Kiss 2 years ago, right? And it was awesome. But man, it rained, so I was out there, in what they wear, and it was terrible, man. It was so like last year, I was like, I'm not doing anything close to that again. Like, and my son likes it when I dress up as something, so I was like, I'm gonna find something warm. So I just got like a mummy costume, and then so this year he's really into well, he's been into it for a while, but Five Nights at Freddy's, which I don't expect. Well, there's a movie out, but I don't expect you to know that.
No, I know about it. Sure.
So he's going as one of those characters, and I kind of got roped into being another one.
Which
it's called Montgomery Gator.
Is that he's one of the animatronics?
Yeah.
Gotcha,
So I'm wearing this alligator costume thing.
Yeah, it's okay to know about this stuff. It's okay to know about stuff that's come out. It's better that you do. You know what I mean? Especially when we're trying to relate to audiences of all ages.
No, knowledge is not shameful.
I was assuming that you guys wouldn't know what Five Nights at Freddy's is.
Sure, of course I do.
Well, you don't have your kids are older. It's more of like a kids thing.
Yeah, look, I know what it is. I'm familiar.
All right.
With it. Yeah.
Cool. Good. I mean, to me, it wouldn't be surprising if you didn't know who they were, but like not knowing Poltergeist 2, it's a little.
Oh, you act like it's Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it pretty much is, man. Steven Spielberg directed the first one, pretty much.
Oh, who directed the second one?
Oh,
I don't fucking know.
Oh, Benny, is this too?
You want it? Well,
to what? Say it.
No, I'm not going to say it because it doesn't apply.
Well,
I don't think you know what that means literally.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't think you know what that term means.
I know what it means. Trust me.
Do you want to know a little something else?
Misusing it.
Do you want to know a little something else about Poltergeist?
Yeah.
So in the original movie, Steven Spielberg was also doing E.T. at the same exact time. So he couldn't direct both movies. I think they're also both for different studios. So in his contract, he couldn't direct two movies at the same time. So he hired Hooper.
Oh, okay. I was afraid that was the end. I thought that was the end of the story.
No, Josh is just frozen.
Yeah.
Here
Take your time.
I'm good now.
Yep.
He could. Yeah, his contract said he couldn't do
direct
both movies at a time.
Yeah, so he hired Toby Hooper, I think his name is, who directed
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
But Steven Spielberg was there every single day and basically directed it, but even though he hired that guy to do it. Little fact about Poltergeist, since you guys didn't know that. That's it. That's all I got.
Cool. Well, hey, man.
We did it.
We did it. King of Lampoon, say we did it.
We did it.